What's up everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm shooting this one from my office today. I like to come in here on the weekends. I can knock out my schoolwork and also just get a lot of other things done. I work really well in my office, I'm not a home worker. Today I want to talk about our current cost. What does our operation look like? How much does it cost to get to this point? Now that we wholesale a lot more, this is a completely different operation. So for those of you who start as home roasters and just want to sell business to consumer, that's great, and you can start on the small level. But if you want to start wholesaling, that SR 540 or SR 800, the Bemmer, those maybe half pound, 1 pound to 2 pound roasters aren't really going to cut it if you want to wholesale and sell business to business. You could do it, it's just not really feasible. And if you're a one-man shop, you roast, you bag, you label, you're really in for it. My opinion, you're in over your head, but that's gonna be the focus of the video today. I'll put a timestamp in the description because I have a couple things I wanna talk about which are really quick, but if you're like, hey man, I'm just here for the coffee, you can find the timestamp and jump into our cost and the video today. But with that being said, I'm big on sharing some personal stuff with you guys because I think nowadays, especially with the ability to communicate over the internet, you don't necessarily make friends by those people that you went to school with and had classes with and did sports with, but you can really make true, genuine friendships on the internet. And I have had a lot of you reach out to me on Instagram, various platforms, and I consider you guys, acquaintances, but potential friends if we stay in touch and keep updating each other. I mean, people I grew up with, that I consider my friends, I'm in no more touch than I would be with you if we're talking on Instagram and whatnot. So I took a new position with an investment group out in California. They're in Irvine, California, and it's still with the same company, but these guys focus on triple net retail investment sales. So they pretty much buy and sell Starbucks, Home Depots, Walmarts, those kinds of things. So that's gonna be, it's an 8-man team. It's gonna be what I do day to day. I'm going out there in a week to meet the team and whatnot, but I'm not moving to California. I'm staying in Florida. It's a nationwide platform, so I'm gonna pretty much take on the East Coast operation. But with that being said, I wanna dive into the video. A lot of the updates that come with the company, which I know you guys kind of follow and track our progress, I'm gonna shift that to Instagram so that I don't continuously have to say, oh, by the way, this is happening. I can make a YouTube video that's all about our growth and what we're doing, but for the most part, the day-to-day updates will be on that Instagram. We're gonna really try to be more active on there, showing you guys behind the scenes what's happening. So today's video is cost. It's all about cost. What does it cost to be in a position like ours? I'll throw some stuff up on the screen so you can see these prices as I walk through them, but we just bought a new roaster. We bought the Artisan XE, which is a 10-pound coffee roaster, and that costs $9,100, $9,100. That's expensive, but that's a lot of production. 10 pounds, pretty much 10 to 15 minutes because it's fluid bed, so it roasts really fast. We got a new grinder, which obviously a second grinder, that was $250. We got that really cheap. The first one we bought $600. So if you want to look at our setup as far as us having 2 grinders, it's $850. But we purchased not only a new grinder, we got a whole new round of bags, which is a lot of bags. I want to say our 12-ounce bags, that's another 500. We bought 5-pound wholesale bags. We bought 500 of those. And then we have 4-ounce sample bags, and we bought 1,000 of those. That total order, so 2,000 bags, was $1,216, okay? $1,216. That's shipping included. We bought coffee now from a new supplier who I can talk about in another video. They're awesome. I love the people I've been talking to. But we bought a 924 pound coffee order, and that was $2,541, okay? 924 pounds of coffee. That's a lot of coffee. That's gonna take us far. And once I tally these all up and tell you guys the total cost, I'm also gonna break down what our cost per bag is now, which is super important because we're talking about what's our profit margin, how much money are we making per bag, and that's gonna change depending on the scale that you produce coffee, so I think it's gonna be really insightful for you guys to hear. Going down the list, we just bought a new round of labels, so we have 500 labels for $170. We bought our pods. We have a whole new order of pods. These ones are branded, so this order was pretty expensive because we had all of the artwork, setup fees, everything like that that's associated with branding the pods, which is one time but expensive nonetheless. For 12,960 branded pods, that's $4,500. And I think that's probably gonna be cut in half the next time we order 12,960. That's the minimum order, so we could order more than that, but for right now, we're just doing that. That's a one-time cost. Cut it in half for a reorder, but for right now, that's $4,500. Not cheap. We have a little pod filling machine that we bought for $167. I think it's called an ingredient doser, so it's a particle dispenser, I think is the technical term. And it just doses really small quantities of items, food items, whatever that item might be. It's food particles, so it's like salts, different kinds of seasonings and spices. Obviously, we're using it for coffee. That total cost, right? I just listed everything off. That total cost we also bought flavoring bottles. That total cost for all of those things is $18,256. And a lot of you are probably going, yikes. If you take out the cost of the pods, which to just start I'll call it normal coffee roasting company, not offering those fresh roasted pods, you'd be looking at $13,756. Still pretty expensive, but again, this is the kind of price difference you're gonna see when you start actually targeting wholesalers rather than just selling business to consumer. And this is us really targeting wholesalers. I mean, we could wholesale for probably 50 different places. That's everything from grocery stores to cafes, about 50 different companies a month, and not really be overwhelmed by the work. So that's why this cost is so much higher, because we can handle so much more volume. And for expansion purposes, that's really important. So I want to talk to you about the breakdown of our cost to produce one bag of coffee. And take our bags with this recent order that we had, one 12-ounce bag, which is branded already, it's hot stand, is 68 cents, and that's shipping included. All of this is, I'm pricing out our total invoice per item. So that's shipping included for all of these things. Labels, 34 cents a label. Coffee per pound is $2.75. That's our cost. Ridiculous. I remember when I first started buying coffee and I would pay like $8 for a pound, right? That's crazy, and that's what you do at first. It's kind of the barrier to entry. You can't be buying coffee by the pound, buying like 5 pounds and get a great price. It's gonna be like $6, $7, $8. And of course, there's a lot of variance within that because of where the coffee comes from and whatnot. But our cost per pound on average is $2.75. Some are lower, some are a little bit more expensive, but not by much. That makes our coffee per 12 ounces $2.06. So 12 ounces of coffee for us is $2.06. Add that whole thing up, that's $3.09 per bag. So that is a bag that is branded, labeled, and has coffee inside. Okay, $3.09. Now we sell these for $12.50, which gives us a profit of $9.41, right? That's a profit of $9.41. That's a profit margin of 75%. A profit margin, how you get there, and you can check my math on this stuff, is you take your cost, so that $3.09, you subtract that from your revenue, which we're selling for $12.50, so it's a revenue of $12.50, and that gives you that $9.41. The profit is 75% of $12.50, right? So $9.40, 75% of $12.50. That's a profit margin percentage. If you want to talk about a return on your investment, which our investment is that $3.09, that's our cost per bag, then we're generating an ROI of 300%, which is ridiculous. If you want to talk about in the investment world, getting an ROI on something like this, 300% is crazy. It's a really good ROI, and that goes to show you the margins on coffee are great. There's some industries where your percent margin, they're dealing with 2 to 3% margins, but obviously if you're dealing with exchanging millions of dollars, 2% on $1 million is a lot of money. But in the coffee industry, your overhead is not that much, and you have these great margins. So for those of you interested in looking down the road of, what does this industry have to offer, what's the potential, it's high. But that's where it stands today. This is our cost. This is everything we just had to purchase to expand, which is pretty much what you need to purchase to start out in the first place, right? Your big ticket items are roaster, coffee, bags. If you have those three, well, let's throw a grinder in there. So if somebody wants it for a French press, you can grind it. If you have those 4 things, you can successfully sell somebody a bag of coffee. And you're gonna want labels, so we can add that cost in there too. But those 5 things, which the labels aren't 100% necessary, you could just figure it out on your own, like what you want to do, but they're also not that expensive, so I don't like to count that. That's what you need to sell a bag of coffee, which many of you know. At a large scale, this is what you're looking at spending. If you want to be selling to wholesalers and really targeting wholesalers, not just selling direct to consumers. So the 5-pound bags, that's what we would sell to cafes so that they can just use our coffee. There's a lot that we have going on behind the scenes now that we've entered this world of wholesale. I'll talk more about that, but this is just a good overview of what it took for us to get here. This is what we were looking at purchasing to get ourselves to this point. Hopefully, if you're in a situation where you've started and you're questioning how much more am I going to have to spend to get up to that point, well, ask yourself how much you already spent. Ask yourself what you're making now. And now that you know these prices, you can kind of say, all right, well, I better start selling 150 pounds of coffee a month. If you want to pay if you don't want to pay out of pocket for any of these expenses. I've had a lot of you guys reach out to me, which is awesome. Please continue reaching out and telling me what you have going on. Put stuff down in the comments, whether or not you have a website for a business or you're just getting started. I love to hear what you have in the works. It really makes me happy. And I actually need to share a story in a video of somebody that reached out to me today whose business has taken off. They started watching my videos, got inspired to start their own coffee roasting company, and they're doing extremely well. So that makes me really happy. They're based in Vietnam. I'll share that story with you guys. It's actually really heartwarming, and it's pretty much the reason that I do these videos. So the more you guys can share on that stuff, the better for me. Trust me, I like to hear it all. Don't feel like you're boring me with a story. I love hearing it and I love sharing it. So that's it for me today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something. I'm gonna have more content coming out soon, I promise. And I will see you in the next video.